Going live.
I gotta fix my mic.
Wait for a few more people to join. What is up? How's it going, guys? We're doing a podcast episode. We're gonna do a Q&A podcast, and so I want you guys to drop some comments in there, drop some questions, and we're just gonna dive into it, and then we'll post it straight to the YouTube channel. And yeah, what is up? All right, I'll just do this first question right here. How to move on. The biggest thing you can do is just focus on yourself. Use this time of solitude and singleness to just do the things that you always wanted to do. For me, whenever I was going through my hardest moments, I had to turn to God. I had to find my faith, and I just had to figure out myself. And I turned to routines. Like, I had a good routine. Like, my biggest routine has been like waking up early, making sure I'm taking time to just sit in silence, taking the time to like journal my thoughts out, getting a lot of exercise, focusing on my career, and just trying to become better. And in reality, if you love this person, they're gonna stay with you for maybe the rest of your life. But every day, it just gets a little bit easier. Day by day, you just pick yourself up and you focus on yourself, you focus on your relationship with God. The best healing that you can do is just focusing on finding your true purpose and God's will.
Definitely first thing is fall in love with God. No relationship works without God at center. So, take this time first off to detach, and then to fall back in love with yourself and to build yourself. Like you said, go to the gym, build your faith, rebuild good habits with your life especially, which is exciting. So you kind of need to look at it that way and try to view it as positive as possible. Surround yourself with good people that'll hold you accountable and kind of push you and, give you some healthy discomfort and whatnot. So
how to turn to God when everything is heavy.
Best way to just turn to God when things are heavy is we pray on our knees for a reason. It's to learn the lesson of surrender. At the end of all this, we're gonna have to surrender everything. So I always tell people life is just a series of spiritual naps where we wake up to, realizing that we're not attached to everything. So He gives us hard times, to answer your question, so that we turn our lives back over to Him. A pit of despair, you can't plant a tree without burying it. So if you're in your pit of despair right now, you have to grow faith, and with that faith, you'll sprout and you'll grow, branches and whatnot. So, in dark times is actually when we find our faith. I found my faith. Just for context, I mean, I've been to rehab, I've been hospitalized before, I've been in jail before, and then all of that is when I found God. It wasn't in some amazing moment. It was in a pit of just full-on despair, and it's when I had nothing left,
Yeah.
And His word became my only possession and my only guidance. And I just had to learn to trust and to surrender, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
So the second you read that book, all of them were found in a pit of despair. And they had to learn the validity of the sentence that every angel ever said, which was, do not be afraid. And why not to be afraid? And it's because we're already saved and God is with us. So
Yeah. I was atheist 6 months ago. I had never cracked open a Bible until I was in my lowest moments. I just read and read and read. And, I started reading the whole Old Testament, and I jumped to the New Testament and started reading all of the Gospels. The best thing you can do is just pray. Just get on your knees whenever think life is just coming at you and you have nowhere to turn to Christ. Like, when you're crying, cry out to the Lord. And just know that He is there for you. He's with you at all times because He is your creator. He created the heavens, the stars, the earth, the universe. So He is listening to you. The best thing you can do is just have faith that everything is working out in His will. Even in the lowest moments, like at rock bottom, there's always a purpose for it. And that purpose is to teach you something that you didn't know, to strengthen you. And turning to God, I just read the Bible. I started going to church. I started surrounding myself with good people, like my friend right here. People that are God-fearing and just immersing myself in the Word. And that's the best thing you can do. What motivates you when you're lonely to keep going? Great question. Yeah, loneliness sucks. But in the end, like, what are you going to do about it? I mean, whenever you're lonely, all you can do is just keep going. Talk to people, you know, just say hi to like a stranger, give someone a compliment, just keep pushing. That's all you can do, because what are you going to do? Take your life? Like, think about how much life you have to live.
Can't do that.
So when you're lonely, you just have to trust that, all right, I'm in a season of solitude for a reason. Maybe I need to find myself. Maybe there's something in this solitude, a skill or a new habit or something that I need to pick up so that I can come back stronger. But you know, the best thing you can do is just surround yourself with people that have similar hobbies, similar interests. Find your small group of people. You don't need to be friends with like 50 people. You only need like a small group of people to support you.
Yeah. One thing I do when I'm lonely is I think kind of a hobby that I've always wanted to pick up. Like learn something new, find a new skill trait.
Yeah.
It really, it kind of eats up your time, and it also gives you something to look forward to, or like a little challenge to look forward to. And that alone really helps a lot. You know, I went through a really bad heartbreak about 4 or 5 years ago. It was someone I dated for 5 years. I was alone across the country, you know, for months. Didn't know anybody because we just moved to Arizona. And I just started picking up hobbies. So surrounding myself, like Jay said, with people with you know, healthy lifestyles as well, that'll kind of push me to kind of stay on a righteous path. So for me, it was rock climbing. Then I met Jay, and you know, surfing, freediving, spearfishing. You'll be amazed by all the cool shit that you'll discover. So
Yeah.
but yeah, just kind of take yourself on that journey, and it's something to be excited about.
I'm 13, not Christian, but I respect y'all a lot. I'm kind of confused. How do you guys like start believing in God?
It's a good question for you, honestly.
I was atheist, and I just had to think about like, all right, think about the odds of this stuff like existing, the odds of everything around you existing and working at such a micro level. It's impossible for there not to be a creator. And some of the greatest scientists in the world have said it best. Albert Einstein, as you dive further into science, the more you realize that God is real. And science is the study of how God works. For me, it was just realizing like, all right, the odds of us existing on this earth, the number is exponential. There are more numbers in that equation than there are grains of sand on this earth. So I just had to realize, okay, God put me here. I found God in my worst moments, and I just leaned on him to get me through everything and trusted that, all right, there's this divine creator who put me on this earth for a reason. I have to keep going, and I have to figure out what his will is for me so that I can be service of this world, to this world. Ever been to India? No, I have not been to India.
Shout out India.
How to stay confident even while being at your lowest.
Knowledge, like he had mentioned, with knowledge will come confidence for sure. And then obviously with the gym and whatnot, you know, confidence will come with that. Like he said, you know, don't be bashful for who you are. So practice, you know, what resonates with you and what gives you peace, and be unapologetic with it if it is, you know, obviously something good. But surrounding yourself with people that believe in you, especially with that confidence, you know, people that have seen you at your lowest and not left, those are the people that you need to have around you. And especially if they keep you accountable, you know, they'll help build that confidence in time. I mean, dude, like I've been very down in confidence where I had to practice smiling before.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, even if you just
us.
smile, like even when you're sad, if you just smile, it actually like makes you happy. There's the science behind that too.
Like we've literally joked about this, but it releases
Serotonin, right?
Serotonin, yeah, exactly. But yeah, you know, your story is unfolding. Everyone needs to view it as, you know, it's that portion of the movie that's suspenseful, and no movie's, you know, good without a little suspense. So this is just the rebuilding period. It's all uncomfortable, unfortunately, but just view it as growing pains. You know, when we were younger and everything was awkward and our bodies felt uncomfortable, we didn't complain about it too much because, you know, we knew we were growing. It's the same with our souls. So
it's tricky. You know, sometimes even the best can struggle with that self-image, but just realizing like Who cares what other people think? Like, that's the biggest thing. Just be you. That's all you got to do, is be who you are. And be like, all right, I was put on this earth for a reason. God created me in his image. I am who I am. And nothing's going to change about that. To be the best version of yourself, just do things that make you better every single day. The book Atomic Habits, best book I've ever read in my life. It's not about perfection. It's about progress, and it's becoming 1% better every day. So you can pick up habits that make you feel good. And if you look good, you feel good. So, like, for example, just taking care of yourself, getting in the gym, making sure you're working out, reading books, trying to become better physically, financially, spiritually, and emotionally, and picking up like new habits every day, like journaling, meditation, reading books, watching podcasts, getting in the gym, going to school, doing anything that just helps you grow as a person. And as you grow as a person, you gain more confidence. It's felt heavy lately. Stuff built up over the years made me realize I may be the problem in all my past situations. I'm 14, but I don't know if this is just a phase anymore. I really can't keep going. Brother, you are 14 years old.
That's amazing.
You are 14 years old, bro. Think about the rest of your life. Whatever you're going through, whatever the problem is, it will fade away. And just think about how much greatness you have ahead of you. So don't lose hope. That's the biggest thing, is just don't lose hope. Having no faith, that's gonna put you in that pit of despair. And faith kills that. Having faith that things are gonna get better in time kills that. You have so much to live for. You have so much life ahead of you. You're 14, think about all the places you can go, the people you're gonna meet, the things you're gonna do. So for the young people, just keep going, get through school. When you get out of school, you got the rest of your life to figure things out, and things are gonna get better, brother. Trust me.
And here's a really, good thing to look at also. The first part of growth is recognizing a problem, and you're already taking accountability, dude. That's like, I'm proud of you for that alone. Dude. That's amazing. And as far as, feeling hopeless and not wanting to continue anymore, I get it. But someone once told me, when you feel like that and you feel like you can't go any further, it's not because you don't want to live anymore. It's because there's a part of you that doesn't serve you well that should not live anymore. So there's habits that you're doing or certain things that you're doing that you're recognizing no longer serve you a purpose, that need to die and leave in the past. For me, it was like cutting off drinking. So I recognized, like, I felt hopeless because of a bad habit, and there was a part of me that needed to die so that I may live with God in life, and that he may live through me. So
Amen.
There's hope in you, man. And this is just, like I said, this is part of your movie, man.
You got a long life ahead of you. Is crying okay, even if I do it almost every day for random thing that don't matter, and my mind is like, I'm not a man because I keep crying? It's all right, man. Like, some people just process things differently. The best thing to do is just cry it out until it feels better. The storm comes and it goes. So just try not to struggle and try to like pent that anger or pent that hurt down, because the more you bottle it up, the more it's going to come back even worse. Just find healthy outlets. That's all you can do. Find healthy outlets. Working out, getting out in nature, reading a book, spending time with friends. It's not, you don't want to sit around in your room all day and just cry, obviously. That's just going to make it worse. That's how depression gets to you. You just sit around in your thoughts. So find ways to process it, find ways to get out, and just go live. That's all you got to do.
It's good to cry, man. But cry also with a purpose. Like, I always put kind of a timeline on how long I want something to kind of govern my emotions. But it's always good to cry. Mm-hmm. It's the only way to water your soul.
Matthew McConaughey. And he was saying his mom came into the bedroom, and after he had like gotten his heart broken, and said, I'm going to give you the day to cry it out, but the second day, the next day comes, get up. Yep. It's their loss. Get moving.
It's their loss.
It's their loss.
Jesus, man.
Come on. Let's quit moping.
Yep.
So,
is this strange for you guys to see Jay like calm by a campfire? I just realized.
Yeah, they just picture me just screaming all the time, walking down the road.
This is Jay, by the way.
I really liked a girl, and she also liked me back. We talked for like 2 months after it ended, and it crushed me. To add insult to injury, my friend and her started talking. How do I recover? Cut out the friend. First of all, think of it like this. God has removed 2 people out of your life that would not serve you well. The friend, snake. You don't need snakes in your life. The girl, God's rejection is God's protection. That's not your friend, and that's not your girl. Moving forward, just focus on yourself. Like I said earlier, do everything you ever wanted to do. Grow, become the best version of yourself by picking up good habits, finding a new career, finding what you love to do. Getting out in nature is the best thing that you can do. And just trying to move forward and just not get stuck on someone that God removed out of your life.
Agreed. I mean, the statement about God's rejection is, I hated hearing it, especially after being discarded. I get it, but it is the truth. You know, God saved you from something, and He only puts in your life what is meant for you. So if He took it away, you know, it stings, but it's also, once again, the lesson of attachment. And, you know, nothing is ours. Everything's rented from God. And if He takes it away from us, it's a blessing that we'll see down the road. But
think about the future too. Like, all right, well, if I'd stayed with this person, would things have actually gotten better? Or would I have experienced more problems or even worse problems down the road? And that's why that person's out of my life right now. How do you know that God didn't just take them out for a reason? You don't know. I mean, you really don't. You don't know. You can't question God's intentions. You can't question God's plan because He's all-knowing. God took them out for a reason. And it may be just for a season. That rhymed. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it.
See? I'm trying to get him to perform poetry with me, folks.
It could be a period of separation to get you guys to strengthen each other. But the thing is you don't want to hold on to that hope of that person ever coming back, because that's just going to be a weight. It's going to be a ball and chain that you're going to be dragging around, and you're not going to feel good. So the best thing you can do is just focus on yourself and focus on your relationship with God. And if that person's meant to be in your life, He will bring that person back. He will move mountains to make it happen. You can't question Him. Yeah. So,
and realistically, if you're taking care of yourself in the process and you're improving, you know, if that person comes back, there'll be even more to love. And if not, you know, who knows who God will put in your life? It could be someone far beyond, you know, you could ever imagine. So the key is just to keep your eyes on God and to constantly be, you know, improving and whatnot. So
yeah, amen. Are video games good for you? I feel like I could do something more productive and I'm trying to stop. Is it good for you? My parents said no. I don't think video games are the most productive thing you could do. You're kind of just sitting around behind a TV screen when you could be building yourself. I think it's better to get out and live the world, because think about what you've got. Like, look at this playground that you got out here. So get outside, you know, go to the gym, pick up new hobbies, new skills. You're not going to look back at your deathbed and be like, dang, I'm so glad I completed that level on my video game. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, you're going to think about all the experiences you had, the people you had, the family you had. So, you know, get up, get outside, get in the gym.
And I understand the distraction of it, and it's easy to, I mean, especially after a long day, or if it's raining and you got back from school and whatnot. But like,
yeah, that's different.
Someone explained it to me once, though. It's like you know, the time is the most precious thing in your life, and you're wasting it on a reality that doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. You know, whether it's building, you know, a character or whatever, like in a game or throughout a game, you're investing time in something that's not real. Make life your video game. You're building your character, and you're leveling up yourself. Yeah. 100%. Instead of like on a video game. Dude, yeah, and you go to the gym enough, you can do some crazy stuff with your body. Like, it's nuts. You can free dive like us and climb cliffs and stuff. Like me. Just don't fall. I don't recommend free soloing yet, though. Yeah. How do you know when you're actually ready to date again versus when you should just keep focusing on growth and let God handle the timing? I'm giving myself a full year before I even go on a date. I haven't talked to a single girl. I haven't been on a date. Breakup was about 7 months ago. I'm giving myself a full year to process everything and to just grow myself, build my career, you know, focus on the content. I think you'll know when you're ready, when there's no emotional charge to that person that you used to be with. Because the thing is you don't want to get into a relationship thinking about your ex and comparing this new person to your ex. You want to get to the point where there's no anxious like
thoughts, you're not attached to that person. And that's just going to take time. So you want to kind of get yourself to the point where you're okay with being by yourself. And when your relationship with God is so strong and strong with yourself, that's when God will just shove someone in your life and you won't even expect it.
Yeah, definitely. And time will tell, but I think it's good to set boundaries just for yourself, you know. Relationships require a lot of energy. The dude that just won Heisman Trophy, like he mentioned it best, he was like, it's not that I don't want to fall in love or anything, it's just that I operated 100% in everything and I want to succeed for God. And so I want to be at the point that, you know, once there's a woman in my life, I give her 100%. So today that person's not here, so you have no choice but to build yourself and to pray. I'm struggling with the same thing, actually. So my therapist told me, you know, out of sight, out of mind for 30 days kind of thing, almost like a drug. So no pictures, no voice messages, no text messages, like no reading, any of that stuff. Your brain has to have absence of that person.
Dopamine detox.
Yeah, complete detox for 30 days. Anytime that you see something like that, it's going to be like a 30-day reset.
Yeah.
Literally. It happened to me the other day.
Yeah.
She literally pulled into a parking lot when we finished diving, and it was a wreck, you know. So but you know, that's the thing. It's time will heal. So
time will heal. Always God and time heals. At what point in your life did you experience a turning point and your awareness increased? 6 months ago. I was down bad. Like if you guys had seen me 6 months ago, you'd be like, who the hell is this guy making these motivational videos? You need motivation yourself. But it was when I found my faith. I put my sight on something higher than this world, and I put it straight to God and faith into Jesus. That's when my life turned around, realizing that everything in this world, all these experiences, are nothing compared to what's coming if you have faith and you do what you're supposed to do and just be an example, Christ-like example. So that's what my turning point was 6 months ago, when I turned my life to Christ.
I didn't fully get swooped by Christ and whatnot until like I really got sober. That was the biggest time. For me, it was then because like I was using substances to numb, and it's like everything kind of hit me at once, and like I had mentioned earlier, it just kind of forced me to my knees in that pit of despair, and that's where I found him. And from there I learned how to pray. For instance, like not to ask for things, but just simply to be grateful for the present moment and to ask for guidance and peace most of all. Never happiness either. Happiness is a drug. We want fulfillment, folks.
Someone asked me to scream at them. What do I do if my mental health is just terrible all the time? I also have a terrible time talking to my parents about things, especially my dad. How can I go to them if I'm struggling bad with my mental health?
I would definitely see a counselor or therapist. Reason being, if you don't have a way to talk to your parents, that person will help you professionally. And if you can't do it yourself, that person can act as a mediator as well. You know, so if there's things you can't voice, you can even have your dad there. But as far as, you know, for mental health too, it's not bad to seek a doctor, you know, even if you need like medication. Someone explained it to me though, you know, if you're experiencing mental illness, it's because there was trauma there. You know, it's like a spiritual brain trauma, if you will, for lack of better words. For instance, if I broke my leg and I was running a marathon, I'd be running kind of funny, you know, if I ran the next day. It's the same thing, you know, we have heartbreak, but then we have to go to work the next day and we're trying to put on a smile and we're kind of stumbling and there's brain fog. There's a literal brain injury, so you should see a doctor.
Yeah, 100%. Find yourself a good, maybe faith-based counselor. Get outside with friends. Go out in nature if you need time. And then Jesus. Just find Jesus. Focus on Jesus because he will solve all your problems. Read the Bible. There's an answer to every question that you have in that book. How do you control the guilt when you didn't mean to hurt someone you love, but you hurt them so bad, you became a bad memory for them? You just have to forgive yourself, because what are you going to do? Live with that guilt and resentment the rest of your life? You can't be the hero in everyone's story. Sometimes you got to be the villain. And that's just the way it is. You can't please everybody. You can't be the perfect person for everyone. But for me is forgiving myself as Christ forgave us for our sins. That's what helped me. Just releasing that weight, releasing that burden. I'm not saying I'm a perfect man. I did some things, like I messed up. I made mistakes. I said things I didn't want to, or I didn't mean to. But am I gonna sit back and just let those thoughts eat away at me? No, that's what the enemy wants. The enemy wants you to be in despair. He wants you to be depressed. He wants you to be down bad, and he wants you to never forgive yourself, because that's how he gets to you.
Yep.
So forgive yourself. Be like, all right, that's who I was. I forgive myself. I'm never doing that again. I'm going to be better, and I'm going to move forward.
I agree. And you turn to Jesus, you're already forgiven. So that guilt and shame, that's just pride that you feel. You're already forgiven. And there's nothing that we can change about the past, but you can change how you respond to it
In the future.
Yeah, exactly. And if your penance is maybe never seeing that person again, I've been there, so be it. But, that's the cross that I bear, to be a better man every day, to ensure that I don't repeat those type of, issues and whatnot. So
what is some good advice for a good future, like being successful in 13 right now? Read books, meditate, journal. Don't drink, don't party, get in the gym, get through school, because school is hard. But once you get out of school, you get the time to focus on yourself. You're really young, so just start finding out who you are, figure out what you like to do, and how you can be service to the world. And I wish I could go back and scream at myself at a younger age and tell myself to start grinding and stop watching surf videos all day, and just find something that you're interested in and start working for it now. There's no better day than the present to start working on what you want in your life.
Especially now, dude, write out your life, the things that you enjoy doing, things that don't even feel like work. I would start studying on how to make that a career, and I wouldn't budge from that plan, because especially now you have time to build an education for whatever career that is, or pivot whatever way you need. So whatever thing that you're into and you can kind of get into a flow state, make that your career, and don't blink otherwise from anything else that anyone else tells you. For me, I wish I would have been a photographer years ago.
Yeah. Wish I'd bought Bitcoin in middle school.
Fact. True.
How can I move on from someone I never dated but couldn't stop thinking of?
Yeah, those that are meant for you will be attracted to you. So if you have to convince somebody of your worth, they're not meant for you.
Just keep moving forward. Think about what would have happened if you dated this person and it ended. That would have been 10 times worse. Just think about it as rejection is God's protection. That person was not meant to be in your life, and you just got to see it as some divine interference between that, stopping you from being with a person that would probably ruined you.
Yeah.
That'll just fade away in time. My friend said it in a really good way. In time, that person will just be thoughts. There won't be an emotional charge. There won't be an emotional attachment to them. So in time, it'll go away. How do I recover from a heartbreak after the guy promised to marry me and have kids with me, and then he can't wait till it happens before a month and he breaks up with me? Oh, well, I was right there with you. My person made all those promises too. And in a way, they showed their true colors. True love never leaves, and if it leaves, it was never true. So just see it like that.
That's tough.
That person, what we answered before, they weren't meant for you. They were not in the plan. They were not part of the plan. And you'll find someone, if you develop yourself, you take this time to just find yourself and strengthen a relationship with yourself, you'll find someone that will make those promises and keep those promises. That's the goal. Find someone that chooses you throughout everything.
We've both been through that, with promises of marriage and whatnot. Literally for me, she told me she wanted to marry me 12 hours before we broke up.
Oh, good Lord.
And this happened in 2 different relationships, but
yeah.
Time told me, and God told me later on, that it was literally, you have to tell yourself, if you really did put forth all that effort for the person, then it was something within themselves that, their heart was not ready nor equally yoked for marriage. So once again, like Jay said, God's rejection. So yeah, you can't lose trust in humans either. You have to still, become love and keep going forward. So
exactly. How do you deal with self-destructive behavior?
You have to view your life and most of all your body, man. It's the only vessel that God gave you. There's 1 in 400 trillion chance that you're able to type that to us right now.
Yeah, literally.
For me, I went through a lot of self-sabotage when I was actually your age and whatnot. To get out of it is just find the root of like what's those thoughts that make you feel like you're inadequate, you know, because you're not. That's not the case. You know, you are enough. Something happened that maybe made you feel that way, and it's not true. So I would definitely, like he said, I would seek a therapist and you know, try to kind of take apart and disintegrate those thoughts, because they're not true, man. That's the devil talking to you, and
Exactly.
God wants you here on earth with the story that's unfolding. And
I don't know how far that extends, but if it's that bad, if it's bad, seek medical help from counselors. And then just focus on faith too. That's my answer to pretty much all the questions, because for me, that changed my life. Focusing on something higher than myself removed my anxiety, my anxiousness, and just gave me hope and gave me peace. Just love yourself, man. You're a 1 out of 1 creation.
definitely.
Like, you're 1 out of 1 creation. The odds of you being here, the chances are so slim. How do you break the cycle procrastinating and letting your grades slowly slip, especially when you're going through a breakup in mental? That's hard. You do have to take the time to feel, but then at the same time, you can't shirk off your responsibilities. You got to get through school, but I would recommend just taking like breaks when you need to, but still focusing on what you have to do.
Yeah.
And like I said before, just talking to somebody. You just gotta, in a way, like push through the pain for school. School sucks going through a breakup, because you gotta do all the tests. Like, yeah, I went through that too. It's hard because, you know, you just have to you have to show up. You have to go to work. You have to keep doing your responsibilities, or else
Your story can't.
you're
stop.
screwed. Yeah, like life keeps moving.
I was in a similar situation. I would kind of do study halls, or like study groups. Have some buddies over, even if it's not the same class. Like, just have people around you. Because for me, I couldn't focus. Like, just being kind of in my dorm, like by myself. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Don't
my
isolate.
brain was everywhere.
Don't isolate.
Because the devil will find you in isolation too. So have friends around. If not, go to the library.
Yes,
Sit in the middle of everybody. You know.
exactly.
Be where the enemy can't find you.
Yeah.
And have people to pray for you as well.
Yes,
So,
study groups, library, public spaces. Get yourself out of that situation until like whatever exams you have, and then just go. You can, after exams are done, you can cry as much as you need. But until then, until the responsibilities are out of the way, just don't be in isolation. He broke up with me after 2 years. It was my first relationship. How do you get over the questioning of what if you'll never find someone? You'll find someone.
Oh, you will.
You will find someone.
When you least expect it.
Exactly. But right now,
so cliche, but it's so true.
yeah. But right now, you just got to focus on finding yourself. Finding yourself, and I'm going to say it again, finding God. He'll get you through it, and He has a plan for you. Focus on doing what you love to do. That's all you got to do. And be okay with just being by yourself. Don't struggle through the suffering. Don't struggle through the loneliness. Accept it for what it is. Sit with it, and things will get better, and your relationship with yourself will grow so strong that one day you're gonna be okay with just being by yourself, and then God's just gonna smack someone in your life. So,
Agreed. And also be grateful that you experienced love, and in the sense that you can recognize it moving forward. So whatever you just experienced, you're missing because something good happened in your life. And that's, obviously to be mourned, but moving forward, keep that as the baseline for what you deserve in your life. If it made you feel that good and that close to God, or want to be a better woman, make that be the bare minimum of what you accept moving forward. Maybe God introduced that type of love to you to show you what you should recognize and what you shouldn't. And there's always somebody out there.
yeah, there's always a plan, and whatever's taken out of your life can be put back in better than before.
But for now, fall in love with God.
How do you know if your plan is the right plan for you, and how do you find the motivation to keep going to school every day? Well, you have to go to school, or else, you get kicked out. Yeah, if you question, like if there's something on the side that you feel like you could be doing better than what you're at, just trust your gut. Like trust what comes to you. And the biggest thing is just having faith that everything's going to work out no matter what. No matter what happens, everything works out for a reason. I know friends that have dropped out and became really successful. I'm not saying drop out of school, but if you have a good backup plan and something that you know would work, why not? Why not?
Just have a plan.
Have a plan.
No matter what anyone says, you can always schedule out or map out some time. So whether it's an hour a day to study something you're interested in getting into, map it out a day, you know, treat it like it's like a sports practice or something, but like every single day, practice that craft and build it. And there's a thing called like the law of 10,000 hours. And I think it's true. You know, if you practice something 10,000 hours, you'll become a master of it to some sort of extent. So if you're slowly feeding something too, you'll find more purpose in school because you'll find avenues to get like more educated in whatever you're interested in. So
Exactly. What's the best motivational advice? I've been struggling with motivation. Or discipline beats motivation. Motivation always fades. Motivation is just a feeling. The biggest thing is staying disciplined, and whatever you're doing, go all in and keep doing it every day, no matter how tired, how upset, how sad, how mad, how happy you are. Motivation sucks. Like motivation is just something that it's a New Year's resolution. You know, you get in the gym for a week and then it's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. It's discipline. That's the biggest thing. Doing it no matter what. That's what you want to do. So don't focus on staying motivated. Focus on sticking to what you're doing and just going all in.
first of all, faith is dead without action too. So if there's something you put your mind towards, you know, do it. 100%. Kind of like McConaughey said, you know, just jump.
Yeah, just jump.
Just jump. Like, but calculated, you know, with like with a plan, obviously, but there takes some faith with it.
Yeah.
And you'll learn. Like, nothing is perfect. He's taught me that, especially, you know, his videos he's posting from his car. My videos, I have to edit, and they're kind of like short films. But he's told me on ones that I've hesitated, just post it. And then it would be something that got a better feedback than I thought. So,
yeah.
And then with the feedback, even if it's shit, you're going to get, you know, feedback, and you're going to get ways to improve. So committing to each step is definitely important.
If your ex ghosts you after basically living with him and you're doing therapy, going to church, seeing your friends, and taking accountability for your part, and still miss them terribly after no contact.
Feel that.
No contact, 3 months. Stay no contact.
Feel that. I'm smiling just because that's relatable.
Yeah, it's very, yeah. He went through that really tough situation. And, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Like you basically just listed out the best things you could do for yourself. Yeah. Therapy, going to church, seeing your friends, pick up new hobbies, and just become close to God. Become as close as you possibly can be.
Yeah, just keep doing you. And that person made a conscious decision for you to be out of their life. So, you know, their loss.
It's their loss.
And every day seek improvement, and it definitely will be their loss.
Yeah.
So
just focus on yourself and trust that it'll get better in time, because it does. It always does.
Definitely pray for them too, because that resentment, it'll kill you too.
Yeah.
If you can't have resentment, you got to pray for them, unfortunately. So
yeah, you got to forgive them. No. Yeah. How do you know when you are ready to move past a relationship and find someone that will match your energy? It depends on how bad it is. I think love is not easy to begin with, and I think that like the grass is green where you water it. So it just depends on how bad something actually is. Like if there's tons of disrespect, there's infidelity, you know, cheating, then that's the time to move forward. It just depends on how much disrespect there's in the relationship. The thing is, if you jump from person to person to person looking for someone to match your energy, you might be left unfulfilled because you're looking for the next best thing. And that's just called like best thing.
Monkey branching.
Yeah, monkey branching. Sit down and just kind of pray about it and see like what comes up. Like, is this person meant for me?
And you mentioned matching, you know, your energy and whatnot. You know, you give off a certain frequency and you attract people. So as you're improving yourself, you'll know, honestly, you'll attract that same type of person.
Yeah.
but typically you'll attract the wrong person if you are jumping relationship to relationship because you're still hurt, even if it's too short of time. I mean, I've been told 6 months to a year. So that's kind of what I'm trying out.
Yeah.
But I also, I pray about it every day, and personally, like now I know I'm not there yet, so yeah, definitely guard your temple, have boundaries.
Yeah. And if you do end things with somebody, definitely take the time to process everything. Don't just jump straight into a new relationship. That's just going to hurt you even more. This should be a really good podcast episode. So if you haven't already seen the podcast, please check it out. The link is in my bio. Jeremy and I, we talk about life stuff, and yeah, we really want to take it somewhere. Sorry. All right. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. God bless. Thanks for showing up.
Sorry,
Appreciate you.
Praying for y'all.
Praying for y'all. All right. Thanks again for watching this episode of Salty Confessions. This was a banger. We're definitely going to keep doing more of these. Tons of great questions. And it was good to finally interact with people.
Definitely.
And yeah, that was good.
Yeah, definitely keeping those comments in our prayers too. Praying for you guys always. But there you have it. That was season 1, folks. Hope to have some guys and gals on our show that'll inspire some pretty cool conversations. So we're excited for it. But
this is just the beginning.
Just the beginning, man.
Just the beginning. Season 1.
Get started. That's our
season
wrap,
1
though.
and done, my man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much once again.
Indeed, yeah. You guys are blessed one.
God bless.
Stay salty.
Stay salty.